And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Historical Geocaching on the Road with geocacher Tian Photobug from Chattanooga, Tennessee, currently travel caching in Greenfield Village, an awesome outdoor history museum here in Dearborn, Michigan. I'm super excited. Right now I am about to head into the Logan County Courthouse. It was a courthouse that Abraham Lincoln practiced law in back when he was alive, so come along with me. Let's explore it and discover some awesome history. Well, hello.
How are you?
Very good. What can you tell me about this awesome building?
Have a seat, I'll tell you all about it.
Sure.
It's the Logan County, Illinois Courthouse.
Okay.
From Postville, a little village of just a few farms and a couple of homes and a little bit more than a couple, 2 businesses in town.
Okay.
And the great group of the leading citizens went to the capital of Illinois, which is...
Springfield?
Very good, Springfield. And persuaded those legislators there, we will build free of charge for the state of Illinois, for the county of Logan, a 2-story courthouse building.
Okay.
There was none. If you will name us the county seat.
Okay.
So this was a way
Sure.
of getting people to come into town,
Sure.
pay taxes,
Yeah.
see the county sheriff and all that kind of thing. And while they're in town, they'd spend some money into a few businesses.
Right, right.
And maybe even stay overnight at the inn. There was an inn in the town.
Sounds like a brilliant plan.
That's right. And when the legislators heard that, free, all right, yeah,
Sure, yeah, sure, sure, yeah. Yeah.
And for the next several years, about 8 years, this was the Logan County Courthouse. It was one of 13 courthouses on the 8th Judicial District.
Okay.
There was only one judge,
Okay.
circuit writing judge.
Yep.
Circuit
Okay.
writing preachers.
Right, yeah,
also.
yeah.
And one of the lawyers who wrote along with Judge Samuel Treat was a young fellow named Abraham Lincoln.
I think I've heard of him before.
Yes, not back then, but yes,
Yes.
soon became well known.
Yes.
And he loved riding the circuit. He
Okay.
was living in Springfield with his wife, Mary. They had that home there. And he had a legal practice there. And he was a partner to another gentleman, was Davis once, and then Stewart, and then a man named Logan.
Okay.
But he loved riding the circuit. He did that twice a year, and that would be 11 to 12 weeks at each of the 2 times.
Wow.
So that's, about half a year, not quite half a year on
Sure.
the road. But he loved that, meeting the people, finding out what's on their hearts and
Helping
minds,
them.
helped to get his name out there.
Yeah.
He's got some political ambitions,
Yeah.
and so it worked well. So they would ride into town, and by the way, it was 55 miles from one courthouse to the next one. That was the longest.
And especially
That's
back then.
2 to 3 days.
Yeah. Not just an
Most
hour
were
down the
close.
freeway.
They had had their bedrolls. They'd sleep out under the stars if they couldn't find a friendly farmer and the judge with a few lawyers riding with him. And the road was called the Mud Circuit. It was so bad, really, really bad. But they would ride into town. This had an inn, so they'd get rooms at the inn for the judge and the lawyers, and come here and check the docket. What kind of cases had been built up in the several weeks since they had been here before?
Sure.
And then they go ahead and begin having trials. Most
Okay.
cases that Lincoln was involved in were civil as opposed to criminal.
Okay.
There could be maybe a litter of pigs is in question. A pig gets out of an enclosure into the neighbor's pen. Those girl pigs are a little better looking to him. And who owns the piglets that comes along?
Sure.
And that would be a little bit of a turmoil there. So they had to figure that out.
I see.
And things like that.
Sure, sure.
Libel suits, things like that also, slander. Once in a while a criminal case, and as I say, Lincoln loved that. When Court Week took place, this was packed with people.
I can imagine.
Oh, this was a break from their very difficult, kind of a humdrum life of being farmers' wives. Hard work. This was a time to let your hair down a little bit. There was a ball
Wow.
every time they came. So that was...
No wonder they were happy to
That's
come.
right. Now, upstairs was always busy because that's
Okay.
where the offices were.
Okay.
You wanted to pay taxes, you got to go upstairs, see
Sure.
the treasurer, see the county clerk, register of deeds, somebody dies, a coroner. So it was always busy, but only twice a year for about a week to 2 weeks was it that court week
Okay.
period.
Okay.
Another town came along in 1847, said,
Okay.
we want to be the county seat. We
So-
see how Postville has grown. That was Mount Pulaski, Illinois.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll build a 3-story brick courthouse
Ooh.
building free of charge. And that's what happened. Little
Okay.
Postville lost out. They started losing population.
sure.
And the town grew up around it, named Lincoln,
Okay.
Illinois. Named for George Washington. No. Named for the
Abraham.
young lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
Because he was becoming very well known.
Yeah.
And that's a good-sized city today. There is a copy of this building at the original place. This
Neat.
is the actual building.
Neat.
And what is really great about it is Mr. Ford had the men take the plaster down, grind it into powder, preserve it, reconstitute it, put the same boards back in the same order, and then smear that same plaster back up on it. So Lincoln's words actually bounced off of these surfaces here.
I'm always amazed at Mr. Ford's attention to detail when assembling the village.
Absolutely. I mean, bring the soil too. This has Illinois soil, not a whole lot, but
Sure.
underneath it.
Yeah.
But over at Menlo Park, I don't know if you've been over there yet.
Not yet, but I will be.
That is red clay from Menlo Park, New Jersey. When
Neat.
Edison saw that, friend Ford, you've even brought my red clay here, he said. And he
Yeah,
had. That
neat.
gave him a lot of extra money, and
Sure.
he had extra money.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do things right.
Yeah.
And the Wright Brothers home and the Wright Brothers bicycle shop from Dayton, Ohio, sit on Dayton, Ohio soil.
Neat.
The top 2
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Now, not many other places have that.
Sure,
But those
sure.
are the 3 that we know
Yeah.
for sure.
Neat.
The furnishings are from the time period. The records for this place burned up in a fire in another courthouse in 1857. So how many cases Lincoln was involved in, we're not sure. How many of them were criminal? Most were civil, as we
Sure.
mentioned. And what it looked like in the interior as far as furniture, this is a curator's guess back in the late 20s, early 30s, when
Okay.
Ford acquired the building.
Okay.
The 2 green benches are original to the 40s. These are reproductions you're sitting on here. And these pieces, except for the judge's bench, that is a copy that was done here. The rest of them are period, 1830, 40, 50s. You see the clock, that's in that era there, beautifully restored in 1977. The clerk's desk where he would write with a quill pen, trying to keep up with everything that's being said. The Bible and the cane and the whale oil lamp there, those are all from the time period. A set of 4 chairs, same way on the table. The jurors' benches
Okay.
here. You had to be a white male adult landowner to serve on the jury back then. Corner cabinet, great story. Never was in this building.
What was?
That corner cabinet back
Okay.
there. When Lincoln was just a boy, he was 9 when his mother died, Nancy Hanks Lincoln. Thomas was devastated.
Sure,
Sadly,
sure.
3-4 years older than Abraham. There was a lady who lived near them, Mrs. Elizabeth Crawford. She
Okay.
had her own family, and Joshua, her husband, suggested that Thomas, the father, go back to Kentucky. This was in Indiana when they were
Okay.
living
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Indiana.
yeah.
You know that history.
A little bit,
Better
yeah.
farmland
Yeah.
anyway. And see if you can find somebody. You knew before Nancy, maybe you could strike up a friendship and develop a
Sure.
romance. And these children need a mother, you need a wife. I'll take care of your children.
Okay.
And he did that. And he came back with a widow lady named Sarah. Listen to these presidential names here. Bush, Johnson. So her maiden name was Bush, and then she married
Yeah,
somebody named
yeah.
Johnson, and he passed
Yeah.
away. And she had 3 children already. So the family instantaneously grows.
Right, right.
But she was a great mom to the kids.
That's
she really
wonderful.
encouraged Abraham to get serious about reading, and he never went to college, but he studied for the bar.
Okay.
And passed the bar,
Yeah.
and became a lawyer, and very successful, and very popular. Of course, we know later on. Anyway,
Sure,
to thank
sure.
Mrs. Crawford
Yeah.
for watching over the children
Sure.
when he was gone, Thomas and 9-year-old Abraham. made that cabinet back there.
They made it?
They made it. That's,
wow.
His little hands helped shape those things.
Wow.
That is, to me, one of the most precious things we have in the entire village.
Yeah.
Mr. Ford was able to acquire it from a descendant, and now what's he going to do with it? There was no museum yet, not until 1933.
Okay.
How about putting it in the building where the little boy went on to become a fine lawyer?
What a perfect
so I think it's a
suit.
perfect
Yeah,
fit.
perfect fit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone, you guys enjoyed that tour of the Logan County Courthouse. Certainly some really cool history about Abraham Lincoln. And also, I had no clue about that cabinet. That was just awesome. So thank you so much for watching this video. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, thank you so much for that. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel because each and every week I post weekly videos of me visiting historical locations all across the nation, including here at Greenfield Village. So thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out more of my videos at youtube.com/tnphotobug. And until next time, this is Geocacher TN Photobug signing out. I'm indeed having a blast with the past.